We have some massive updates on everything happening in AEW. If you guys want more videos like this, go ahead and click subscribe. Thank you for 41,000 subscribers. As always, timestamps in the description down below. If you're watching AEW Dynamite last night, then you may have seen that CM Punk and the Elite were removed from the AEW Dynamite intro. Now, this is a great decision by Tony Khan, and honestly, it makes a lot of sense. Now, one of the big common trends that you're going to hear throughout the next few videos when it comes to these big updates is that there is an ongoing investigation internally in the company. Now, we also know that CM Punk is reportedly injured for about 8 months, which is obviously going to take him away from TV. But there are some rumors and some belief that after this investigation is concluded, some of these members may not return to the company at all. Now, AEW doing this internal investigation is a great thing for the company, and it shows that Tony Khan is being a leader, trying to get everything in order, but the only way to do that is by having a proper investigation done. With the Elite and CM Punk being removed from the intro, you have to wonder what exactly is next. I also want to point out when it comes to the AEW Dynamite intro, it is a very big deal because of the fact that this is AEW's presentation on their TV partners network, which obviously in this case happens to be Discovery Warner Brothers. I am looking forward to see what transpires out of this relationship with Discovery because these guys are some of the biggest draws for AEW, and that obviously helps when it comes to TV negotiations, which is why Tony Khan is met with such a very difficult decision to decide what happens next. And I think once we get the results of that investigation, we'll have a clear idea. As for right now, suspensions are in order, but after the investigation's concluded, there is a good chance someone might not be coming back. Now, with that being said, I am being asked about the video game quite often. People want to know, does this change anything for the AEW video game? Now, while I don't think it is completely unlikely that AEW would make changes to the cover, I have to admit it is something that's been on my mind, especially when I have been live doing my wrestling live talk shows at night and go after dark. A lot of people are wondering if this is going to change anything about the video game cover and how so. Now, I think, again, a lot of this has to do with that internal investigation. There is still time from now until the game releases. So technically speaking, if AEW wanted THQ and obviously their developer Ukes, if they want to make the decision to change the cover, technically speaking, they can do so. But as you can imagine, it makes for a very huge change. CM Punk and Kenny Omega are two of the most recognizable names in AEW. I feel like at this point, depending on when this investigation concludes, there is a chance that maybe we do see the video game cover changing. Now, if you're wondering which changes I would like to see, I think it really depends on the investigation. But if CM Punk is going to be removed, then I think you need to replace him with Bryan Danielson or MJF. The more and more that we hear about Kenny Omega's involvement, I'm starting to think that possibly maybe his career will be safe. It appears that he tried to save Larry the dog. So how can you hate on that, right? But if that is the case, then obviously MJF and Bryan Danielson would be two of the most realistic replacements on this cover. But as of right now, there's been no announcement on it. I know I'm getting asked a lot about this in the comments section, but technically anything is possible. Now, lately, there's been a lot of talk about release requests. We know Malachi Black is no longer going to be in AEW. He has a very interesting release situation happening with AEW. I made a video on that. The card will be somewhere up here. But there has been a lot of talk about Thunder Rosa requesting her release from the company. And this is very interesting because now several sources have indicated that is not true. In fact, Brian Alvarez has also confirmed this. But there are a lot of rumors suggesting that Thunder Rosa has tried leaving AEW at some point, and this kind of stems back from her match with Marina Shafir. Now, I want to make it very clear that Thunder Rosa, I am a little bit biased, but I do enjoy Thunder Rosa's work in AEW. And I know not everybody necessarily agrees with that, but I think she is a great performer for AEW, despite the fact that her booking hasn't been too strong since becoming champion. Nonetheless, the idea that everybody in AEW is unhappy is not true, okay? I know a lot of people are looking at WWE and Triple H and some of those changes, and yes, I do believe to a certain extent people in AEW might want to jump ship, just like even with Triple H and Power, people might want to jump ship to AEW. It's very realistic. It's not out of the realm to believe that. However, that does not appear to be the case with Thunder Rosa, nor does it happen to be the case with another talent in AEW, and that actually happens to be our good friend Jake Hager. Actually, he's not really a good friend. In fact, we've never really talked. But Jake Hager is a great performer in AEW. And yes, I do enjoy his work in Bellator. So I want to make it very clear, Jake Hager is staying in AEW. Chris Jericho has confirmed this weekend in an interview with Inside the Ropes with Alex McCarthy. He did mention that not only did 2.0 sign extensions, but so did Jake Hager. Now, if you don't remember, Jake Hager, aka Jack Swagger from WWE, he was on the very first episode of AEW Dynamite. He's a very early addition to the company, and now he has signed an extension with the company as well. And I think this is a good thing. I think when you look at Chris Jericho and the Jericho Appreciation Society, whether I like the booking of the JAS, whether I care about this specific faction, doesn't really matter. I'm willing to say that this is good for business at a time where AEW needs veterans. So yes, maybe I don't care about the Jericho Appreciation Society as a fan, but I truly do value the idea that Jake Hager is in AEW. I think it is important to have veterans at a time where your company is slightly having some issues. Not slightly, they are having issues. They are big issues. And the only way that AEW is going to get over this hurdle is with the help of the veteran presence in the locker room. It is no secret that Chris Jericho and Jon Moxley are two individuals who have been backstage trying to have a veteran presence and help get this company back on track. Guys like Jake Hager being around is definitely good for business, and I think Tony Khan made the right decision to extend the contract of Jake Hager. I also want to mention, too, Jake Hager is expected to fight in the near future for Bellator. Now, we still don't know the exact announcements for that, but the idea that he's going to be doing both is always so cool to me. I know some people don't agree with that. Maybe he's not your cup of tea. I get it, but I love when WWE wrestlers or AEW wrestlers have the potential to go and actually fight in real MMA. Jake Hager doing Bellator, doing AEW is great in my opinion. Yes, this guy's not going to bring in millions of viewers to AEW. Yes, this guy's not going to bring in tons of new fans to AEW, but there is that opportunity with MMA cross promotion. And of course, there is that opportunity for Jake Hager just to be a great veteran presence at a time when the company needs it. I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to click subscribe. I'll see you next time.